Episode 05. Now, we worked hard for the last 6, 8 years, 10 years to bring our company to this stage. It has now gone international. It's now an international business. They know us. They know who we are. They know what we do. They know what we provide. We have gone and captured the whole world. The world is ours now. That's a big struggle. We worked hard for the last 8, 10 years. Now, why did we go public? Why did we not choose to take funding from venture capitalists and expand ourselves? Why didn't we choose private equity? Why didn't we choose to keep our company private with us instead of liquidating it to the entire country? What are the benefits of releasing an IPO? What does IPO do? How does it help our company? We'll see this, all of these details in this video. Stay tuned. Now, why did we go public? What happens when we released our shares to the country? And how did the country accept to our initial public offering? When we released our share to India or to the citizens of our country, it was a huge success. People, they did buy it at the price point where we released it. It was a huge price point. We'll see how we calculated the IPO pricing of a share. At what price did we list our shares? The reason why we released an IPO is to meet our 200 crores capex requirement. That was a huge amount of money. We didn't want to liquidate this amount of money with one private or one particular private equity player, or maybe keep the company amongst us. What are the reasons? Why did we do so? Why didn't we go to the bank? We simply didn't go to the bank because we didn't want a loan. We didn't want a burden of EMI, an interest rate. So if there is no interest rate, the profit is with us. So if the profit is with us, everything we earn is with us. We went public. We dissolved the 25% of the shares that the company had to the public, and hence with that we dissolved the risk as well. The risk is diversified. So we dissolved the risk. We funded our capex requirement. We avoided the debt. We avoided the EMI. We avoided the loan interest. And also we provided an opportunity for the early investors, the PE, the angel investors, the venture capitalists. Remember, they had put in their money. The angel investors, the first friends, they had put in their money 6, 8, 10 years back with the company when it was started. And now it's worth in crores. They want that profit back, right? You put in your money to get your profit back. So liquidating a company to the public gives those investors an opportunity to get their profit. They can sell their shares now to the public and earn the profit. So this is an opportunity for the angel investors. This is an opportunity for the venture capitalist who has put in their money. And this is an opportunity for every early investor to liquidate some money liquidate some portion of his holding in the company and take the profit out. They have worked hard. They have taken the pressure. They have gone through the risk period, and now the profit is for them. So that is the option. Now let's see, how do we value the shares that we have listed in the IPO. Remember, we decided to liquidate the shares that the company had with itself. That's 250,000 shares. 25% of the shares was with the company when we last went abroad. That 250,000 shares is now liquidated to the public. Okay. Now this 250,000 share, which is the 25% of the share, now let's see how it looks like. So now the promoter and the other business partners, the promoters, the venture capitalists, the PE, they sit and decide the valuation of the company after the IPO, or maybe at the point of the IPO release. The valuation of the company is now approximately around 500 to 600 crores. That's the approximate price range. We cannot be exact. It has to be an approximate range, around 500 to 600 crores. So with this approximate range, what would be the per share price? So we had 25% share of the company that the company holds. We are liquidating all 25% of that share. So that's 25% of the valuation of 500 crores now is 125 crores. Or maybe if the valuation is 600 crores, 25% of 600 is 150 crores. So those 250,000 shares that the company had is now worth between 125 crores and 150 crores. It's only the price of those 250,000 shares, not the price of the shares that the promoter, the angel investor, or the VC or the PE holds. Okay, it's just those 25% of the shares that the company holds, and that's what we are liquidating. So that's now worth 125 crores to 150 crores. So what is the price per share? Price per share is 125 crores by 2.5 lakh shares is 5,000 rupees per share. Or if it is 150 crores, then 150 crores divided by 2.5 lakh shares is 6,000 rupees is the per share price. So the share price when the company is listing an IPO out to the public, the price band, you have heard of this, is the Ipo Price Band. The price band for this company is approximately around 5,000 to 6,000 rupees. This is huge. These numbers are not actual numbers. In actual, IPO numbers are not this big. It's generally within a few hundreds or something like that. But just for example, to make you understand how it looks like, this is how the price per share of the company is calculated when we release an IPO. And now we release an IPO with a 5,000 to 6,000 rupees price band, and we can give an allocated size that you have to buy. Minimum allocation size is this much, like a few hundred shares, or maybe 50 shares, or maybe 100 shares. And that's how the people who are subscribing to this IPO can subscribe as per the allocation size. But remember, we had a capex requirement of 200 crores. This would hardly give us how much? 150 crores we saw. If the price band is 6,000 rupees, if the IPO goes at 6,000 rupees, the maximum we can earn is 150 rupees per share. For 2.5 lakh shares, we'll get 150 crores. But we need 200 crores. So from where will I get the remaining 50 crores? The remaining 50 crores will come from the internal accrual profits, or maybe we might have to go to the bank and ask for a loan, or maybe we might have to approach some other investors. Now, how an IPO gets listed? Now, to list an IPO, the company should approach or appoint a merchant banker. They are also called the book running lead manager or the lead managers. So they are the merchant bankers or the lead managers. What is the work of a merchant banker or a lead manager? They do a due diligence on the company, they file a due diligence report, and they ensure all the legal complexities, all the legal compliances are met, and they provide a due diligence certificate stating that this company is right in place to release an IPO. So that's the main task of a merchant banker. They also work very closely with the company to provide the listing document for the company along with the DRHP. DRHP is the draft red herring prospectus. The merchant banker also underwrites the shares. What is underwriting a share? Now, when we approach a merchant banker, they would take authority to buy all the shares from us and sell it to the public. That's an underwriting, that they'll buy everything from us and distribute it to the public when the IPO goes live. So that's the underwriting that they give, the merchant banker gives. They also determine the price band of the IPO. Just like, we saw the calculation, how the price band is calculated, how the company valuation is done first, and then based on the valuation range, the price band is calculated. So the price band, the valuation band is first calculated, and from the valuation band, the per share price is calculated. This is done by the merchant banker. They also help the company with the IPO promotions, advertisements, banners, marketing, promotions, advertisements, and so on and so forth. So that's the help that the merchant banker does for the company. To do this, they also appoint the agents like the advertisers, the bankers, the registrars. So all these tasks are also done by the merchant banker. So now let's see the IPO sequence of events. So what are the IPO sequence of events? If it's a large IPO, it's a very huge IPO, the company can appoint multiple merchant bankers. Okay, they may not just be comfortable with one, so they might appoint a couple of merchant bankers. The next step is to apply with the SEBI about the registration statement. Okay, now what does this have? This contains the statement as to why the company wants to go public, what are its plans, and why does the company want money from the public. Why do they want to dilute their stake to the public and go and release an IPO? So this is what contains in the SEBI registration statement. This is what is this is the next step to the IPO. Then of course SEBI takes his time and then gives a yes or a no. If it's a no, it's all gone. If it's a yes, then of course the next step comes in. The next step is the DRHP. The DRHP documents now gets prepared and is now released to the public. What does this document contain for the public? The public gets an information about the IPO size, the number of shares, the price band, the company profile, the company plans that they have, the expansion plan that the company has. So all these information is contained in the DRHP document. Then comes marketing the IPO and advertising for the IPO. These are done by the merchant bankers, as we saw. Now comes the book building process. The book building process is a time when the company will now have a window when the shares will be listed out to the public. Now in book building, the company works out a good plan or a good price range of the good price range at which the IPO or the shares are going to be listed to the public. An ideal price range which is conducive to the market. This is where mostly all IPOs get listed in the market when the market is very good. In a very good state, people are in mood to spend, people have money at hand to spend. That's when most company wants to list their IPO. Why? Because they want to get the maximum out of it. Now the closure, the price band is decided. Now this is the price band we are closing in, and this is what the public is going to have to pay for the issue, and then the shares get listed in the stock exchange. That's the first share of the company opens up for the public to buy. It's an IPO. It's a successful IPO. The IPO is listed. The system around the moment when the IPO is listed and people who bid for the company shares, they bid for the first time, they want to buy these shares. That's the primary market. I am buying directly from the company. Okay, that's the primary market. As soon as I am buying it, as soon as I have it in my Demat account, as soon as I have it with me and I start trading and selling and buying again, I run into the secondary market. I am no longer involved with the company anymore. Yes, the shareholding details will definitely be with the company. If I transfer, if I shift, if I sell off my shares to someone else, the company would have his name and my name removed from his database, so on and so forth. But then this is the secondary market transaction. The primary market is now closed. The IPO is released. The company got its first payment from the public. That money remains with the company. The company can expand, they can go abroad, they can open up further channels and build the business very big. We now run into the secondary market to buy and sell these shares, just like we do for any other company using your Demat account. That's the journey we had. We saw the journey going from scratch when we had a dream. One day we had a dream, and then we fulfilled that dream of taking that small idea from our head to papers, from papers to funding, from funding to expansion, from expansion to international expansion, and now the IPO. The company is now big. Thank you so much for staying with us. We will see the journeys that goes beyond. Remember, we were Minicorn once. Now we want to move on. The unicorn status, the Decacorn status, they are calling. We'll see all of them in the next episode. Stay tuned. Please like and subscribe this channel. Till then, SG signing off. Goodbye.